What's up, my crypto legends? In this episode, we're keeping it extremely simple for the viewers. Now, yesterday we did get the drop, a bit of a consolidation, dipped slightly beneath the 618 Fibonacci, hitting the 78 Fibonacci, holding very nicely, now getting the pump. We still have this possible pattern, and I'm going to explain the exact resistance that we need to break for the price to absolutely fly. Of course, we'll be taking some levels into consideration for our trading opportunities. We're diving into the S&P 500, only 100 points away from all-time high. This could be achieved in the next coming days. We're going through the DXY because DXY is getting resistance here. It is rolling down here, as we can see on the chart. We'll be analyzing the scenario carefully. Remember, I will only be bearish on Bitcoin, crypto markets in general if the DXY manages to break through from this level. But overall, the round formation that we're forming looks very good for a pretty nice pullback, meaning that the markets can likely go up still for the next coming days and weeks. And we're also taking a look at the liquidity map here for Bitcoin, so make sure to stay tuned. Hi there, Andy here. Welcome back to another episode. Let's dive in here through the price of Bitcoin. Now, it does look like that we are managing here to create a higher low. This is looking at the price of Bitcoin on Coinbase. Now, the low here was taken on Coinbase, but not on the Bybit US dollar pair. Now, as you can see, we are still forming here this higher low, looking very interesting to have an attempt in breaking out from this lower high resistance trend line potentially in the coming hours. We need to be very aware today because, of course, at 8 o'clock Central European time, we do have the FOMC economic projection, the interest rate decision, and at 8:30 Central European time, we have the Fed press conference. We're likely going to see a bit of volatility during those times, so we need to be very defensive with our trading setups. Now, quick explanation here. Now, yesterday there was a possibility in creating a higher low right over here, not quite at the 618 Fibonacci, but yes, coming down to 78 here, holding very nice. And finally, the price of Bitcoin is getting that pump. There is also a very interesting pattern here, looking here at this double bottom scenario where we do have this neckline here, as you can see, sitting at 41,550. It's going to be very interesting because as soon as we break above this zone, that is where we are going to see here this lower high resistance. We also have a very strong high volume node exactly here at this range. Once we start an attempt in breaking through this zone, we need to be extremely cautious because of fake outs. If we were to create a fake out here to round about 41,700, 41,800, where we do have this high volume node here, as you can see on the chart. This is based on this price action and also on the price action that we've had for the last few days. If we do fake out from this zone and manage to get back beneath this high over here and the resistance trend line, I can already tell you this might be a very good shorting opportunity. Of course, that will be a fake out. A lot of people are taking a look at this as a possible inverted head and shoulder or a symmetrical triangle here. Now, of course, symmetrical triangle like this could be continuation to the downside because it's basically a corrective move and a continuation pattern. So we need to be very aware of fake outs to the upside. This could bring us a great entry to have a breakdown finally and come down and test the lows and possibly even go beneath $40,000. I want to be in that short position. So in the next coming hours, it's going to be crucial to check out the reaction here at 41,700 to 800 to see, are we going to successfully break above all of this, because we have an extremely high volume node right over here. And it's also with the 618 Fibonacci from the pivot high of the dead cat bounce to the pivot low, we can see that 618 Fibonacci is round about the 41,700 range with the high volume node. Guys, pay attention to possible fake outs. I will not be in a rush to short, as this could be a successful breakout. And if we do successfully break out here from the resistance and this high volume node, I can already tell you there's a huge gap in volume in between the price action from the last week, as you can see here on the chart. So it could be absolutely rocket fuel for Bitcoin if it successfully breaks above all of this high volume node. Now, if we do get that solid high volume candle on the chart breaking out from here, I can already tell you there is going to be a high probability that the price is at least going to test the dead cat bounce high. Now, the dead cat bounce levels are usually extremely strong resistance. And if we do see that fake out, there could be a quick shorting opportunity. Remember, it's basically a swing failure pattern. I like swing failure patterns if they are at crucial levels. And that is one definitely to have on the chart because it is a rejection level. However, is this going to be a rejection level to bring the price all the way down here? Well, possibly not. Maybe this is going to likely be a successful breakout and continuation to the upside is very much a possibility. Make sure to pay attention to these levels because trading is all about being patient and checking the reaction. Once you start hitting 41,700, 800, don't panic. Don't think, should I long or should I short? Is it a fake out or is it a breakout? If the price gets a rejection, gets back beneath here inside of this symmetrical triangle and beneath this massive high volume node of the last week based on this price action and this price action right over here from the last couple of days, that will be the moment that there will be time to enter into a day trade swing short position, okay? We need to see that rejection. That if that happens. On the other side, we break out successfully here. We are likely to find some support and get some continuation to the upside. Now, the level that I do see the price struggling is that dead cat bounce high. We could get into a small swing failure pattern. These are beautiful for quick little scalps. You might get a couple of $100 of a move to the downside, in and out kind of a trade. They're great levels, guys. And also, if that were to be the case, now, yes, it will be very disturbing. If we suddenly see a high volume node breaking out here from this range, then we need to understand that we possibly are going to go to much higher levels. Now, the level that I am watching very, very carefully, yes, it is that bump and run lower high resistance trend line. Of course, we are still very far away from that level. We could have an attempt in the next coming hours to try and break above the level and create that swing failure pattern from the dead cat bounce high with confluence of the lower high resistance trend line. Now, this zone over here is in confluence with Fibonacci here from this pivot high to the pivot low with 50% Fibonacci. So we might struggle here to try and get above the dead cat bounce high as we do have 50%. Pay attention to that level because it is a rejection point. Now, not much more has to be said. Maybe the price is just pumping here and it's going to hit this resistance of lower high trend line, and we are going to continue here with this complex corrective move, which is basically an A, B, C, D, E, and then we're going to start breaking down in the coming hours. Big resistance here. I would want to see a little bit of more price action here, attempting to try and break out here this lower high resistance trend line. Call it an inverted head and shoulder or symmetrical triangle. If we break out here, if we fake out, okay, and we get back beneath down here with very low volume, this is going to be great because we are likely to break down here to test these lows and have an intent to have continuation to the downside, okay? So be patient, set your alerts, and if this does happen, then we're good to short once we reject and get acceptance back beneath this low over here and the lower high resistance. We break out here very nicely, causing several $100s of a breakout with high volume. We can expect the price to actually find support from this high volume node and get the continuation at least to round about 42,500 to 600 where we have the dead cat bounce high, guys. That is the scenario that I'm looking at here, getting ready for a few trading plans and just being patient. Of course, what if the price does start rejecting from here and we don't manage to even have an attempt to break out the resistance trend line? Well, then obviously it is not going to be looking good because this is very impulsive. We're getting into this symmetrical triangle and this could be, you know, a bear flag, bearish pennant for continuation to the downside, guys, okay? So make sure to stay cautious. I would not be too interested in longing the price of Bitcoin if we were to have an attempt in breaking down here, because this could turn into a very aggressive falling knife. Of course, the strongest level that we do have is that point of control from 21 and 22. Basically, it is the highest volume node, all right, from that price action right over here. That is sitting at 38,800. I would be very cautious trying to long the price of Bitcoin if we were to break down from this symmetrical triangle. Of course, we could create a fake out, and how we can recognize a fake out, guys, is dipping beneath the low of this symmetrical triangle and getting acceptance back above. This is the moment where the price could create a fake out. Of course, we need to wait patiently for the price to actually get back above these lows and get inside of the triangle. And this in my opinion is going to be a safe bet, okay? Always with great risk management, stop loss beneath the low to get that rise, finally to get a possible breakout to eat up all of these lower highs, okay? So we need to be cautious here. It is great to trade fake outs, okay? If I were to, if I was a breakout trader, these are very difficult. Of course, I do see a possible move down, but even though much easier if it fakes out, then obviously we are looking for that long position here to finally get that rise, okay? So those are a little bit of the trading setups that I do see here available in this symmetrical pattern, guys. Be cautious. Don't get trapped, of course, with breakouts because there could be fake outs. We need high volume on the breakout, and obviously the best way is getting into that retracement to come back up and test the highs to see if it's going to break out. If we do get a double top, of course, that is the moment you want to take profits because you could successfully break out here, get a bounce, come up and test the highs, and you create a double top. And of course, you were in the long position. However, you did not recognize that double top. Very important if you reject from that top of the breakout to take profit, guys. Just a few little tips here for your trading journey. And remember, legends, it is the 5-year anniversary from Bybit. They got a trading competition going on. I'll be leaving the link down below in the description. They also have a lucky draw so you can win an iPhone or, different watches and also some dollars. Check it out, guys. Bybit 5-year anniversary. They have a competition going on where you can register. And if you're good at trading and move some volume, you can actually earn some pretty nice perks. Also, if you cannot trade on Bybit based on restrictions, Mexi for me is a great option. They have one of the lowest fees out there for trading, and there is an insane bonus to claim. Check it out, guys. You have the links down below in the description. Now, let's go dive in right away here on the stock market, S&P 500. We are just 100 points away from creating new highs. Let's see what happens with the news. Okay, today we got the FOMC projection. Also, the interest rate decision, of course, it is kind of priced in. It is going to stay the same at 5.5%. Possibly it's priced in, possibly not. Let's see, also the press conference, because maybe, depending on what we see in this news, right? Is it going to be, the economy is great and we're growing, nothing's happening, we're having a soft landing in 2024 for the recession. Maybe it's going to create some bullishness and we are going to see the stock market, continuing to pump to hit all-time high. Overall, we have been bullish on the stock market the last couple of weeks based on the recovery after breaking down from this higher low resistance support trend line, and we did get this major rejection consolidation, and we were just very aware of this situation. And we talked about if the price of the S&P 500 does manage to get above this high volume node, then this is bullish. We got this breakout and, we were calling about this level to be hit very likely just days after the breakout, finally hitting that level here just a couple of days ago. And now we're breaking above this level. We are running out of levels. Volume is extremely low. So there is extremely high probability that stock market will be creating a new yearly high, guys, in the coming days. Let's take a look at the DXY, because DXY obviously has a high impact on the markets. Yes, yesterday we were talking about it is game over for Bitcoin, crypto, and markets in general. Only if the DXY dollar index does manage to break above this high volume node, which is the point of control from the last 2 years, guys. It is extremely important to understand this, because I can get a bearish video out there, but you need to understand this is only if we break above this level over here. That will be confirming that we are breaking above the major resistance, and this is a higher low, and we're likely going to create a higher high. I need the price action to get inside of this range, guys, and now we'll prove it to you that the market will get a severe corrective move. Markets, Bitcoin, crypto in general, just like the stock market, as soon as we got above this high volume node right over here, back inside higher low support trend line, I was extremely bullish on the market as soon as we did get this move right over here, getting above the strongest resistance. We're likely to hit this high, and if we break this high, we're going to all-time high on the stock market, right? Keeping it simple with the levels. This is same for the DXY. Now, we break above this level, then I know that this high is going to be taken, and this runner to the upside is going to be devastating for the market. I'm sorry, I will repeat this once it happens, if it does happen. But let me give you that good news, of course, and that we are getting the resistance from the level, just like we did back in the summer of this year, where we found a round formation at that point of control over the last 2 years, and we got the pretty decent pullback. We are forming a very similar scenario. Of course, on the other side, it could be an inverted head and shoulder. Nevertheless, it is getting that round formation, giving the possibility that maybe we're going to see the DXY getting one more leg here to the downside. Then we're going to have to check the reaction at certain support levels that we do have on the chart, such as lower high resistance here from the descending wedge. This is a level that we need to be paying close attention. We also have that high volume node, guys, that high volume node right over here sitting at 101.8. That is the moment we need to be extremely cautious. We could be possibly just testing this low over here, right, and getting supported. If it does turn into a failed breakout and we get back above the level, then this could be the moment that we need to see here that, hey, maybe we are going to get an epic bounce on the dollar index. And then this, of course, this could be a topping point for the markets. And then this is probably where we're going to start rallying and breaking through, just in case we do create a higher low right over here. Okay. A lot of projections. So far, so good. We are getting that resistance from the high volume node over the last 2 years, just like we did here in the summer. So there is a possibility. You can see the price action on lower time frames, how it is finding here this round formation. It is forming this round formation. So that means that we could possibly come back down and test the lows, just like we did right over here, getting that resistance. That's what we want to see for the markets to continue bullish. So far, so good. It is resistance. The moment we break out from here, guys, I will be the one that comes out very bearish, okay, in the next videos and live streams. But we are at resistance, so if we move down, that is bullish. Guys, thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one.